I see you joined us again. Welcome back. I'm King Trode.
King Trode I am.
King Trode I am. Young
forgive
Skywalker.
Forgive Jacob, he's never actually seen Star Wars.
Yes, I am Yoda. Obi-Wan, am I right?
That's okay.
I see.
Whoa! Hey, buddy. Hey, chill.
I'm impressed.
That's us right now.
Just how a daughter should be. And if this Calderasher gets his powers back, there's nothing he can't find, am I right? Then we'll kill two birds with one stone. If everything goes according to plan, we'll find out where that hateful Dulmagus is. The time's getting on. Medea and I will stay outside. That's the last time we set foot in a barbaric town like this. But you should spend the night at the inn and rest well, so that you're ready to take on the world tomorrow. In the morning, we leave for the Waterfall Cave.
Cool. Cool, blimey. And then morning came. So jolly.
Yeah. I've got to worry about that giant brazier in the middle of that room, that with the low ceilings that are wood.
Yeah, I mean, like, and especially like next door, this house burned down. Like, maybe some foreshadowing there.
I mean, but they're probably eating off lead-laced pewter dishware.
Yeah.
You know, heavy metal poisoning.
Smoking crack.
As they did in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
A lot of crack smoking.
Ah, Age, I was starting to think you'd got lost. Right, let's get to the Waterfall Cave and see if we can find that crystal ball. Medea and I will be right behind you, 8. If you have any trouble, feel free to consult us. I'm sure there's nothing we can't solve if we put our heads together. Anyway, away we go. Yeah, we know, bro. So yeah, for a second there I was thinking, oh, there's no enemies out. But yeah, this is random battles.
Yep. You can talk to your party, right? Even in the demo? Oh, shoot. Maybe that's not in the demo.
Maybe it's another button.
Maybe. Select? No? Oh, there we go.
No, once you see where you're headed, just forget about the path and go straight there. No messing. Alright, so there might be a few more monsters, but a real man don't need to worry about that. Cool.
I do hope you realize that the princess and I have no intention of setting foot in that cave. We are royals, after all, and we can't be putting ourselves in danger like that. So I'm relying on you to find the crystal ball.
Emphasis on the ball. You started in the wrong way out of town to head for the Waterfall Cave.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, and to see Akira Toriyama's monster designs in 3D was pretty cool for the first time.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Because 7, you know, you saw sprites of the monster designs. You know, animated ones, which was a big improvement on these completely static images from the Super Nintendo era. Mm-hmm. But this was like, you know, above and beyond. And like at the time, I was like, I was impressed just how big the map was that you were exploring. Mm-hmm. It just goes on and on. For comparison, the map you can walk around the town as well. The map in 11 is actually quite a bit smaller from place to place.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which I prefer.
I think I think 8 actually has a better world map.
Yeah.
And like implementation of like the like world map itself when you're on a ship or when you're on a flying vehicle.
Yeah.
Like I think 8 does it better, but like 11 works too.
Yeah. I mean, 11 is more like kind of self-contained zones like Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
Which is also something that I like, but I think if given the choice, I would go with an 8 style giant open world.
And I mean, like, even, like, make it more open, you know, like, even fewer load screens or...
Yeah, I mean, because I guess you do have, like, regions that, like, have, like, a choke point in and out, you know?
In and out.
To the left.
Still?
Yeah, get to this path over here and then take
It's a river.
Right? Wait. Did I just bone us?
So you just boned me. There's like a fence.
Has it been so long? I don't remember.
Joe boned us, everybody.
Slimes!
Like, I hate having a sword as like the hero's weapon. And like in 11 you have to have a sword. But like it just feels wrong. Always does. So for everybody, I don't know like how many people listening to this will be like Dragon Quest fans. But you know, like in Dragon Quest there's a weapon like a boomerang, which traditionally your hero can equip, and going back all the way to 4.
Maybe 3.
Where you can like attack all enemies. Woo. So like you just kind of like mash it out, like, you know, attack everybody.
Yeah, and that's so useful in traditional Dragon Quest. The ability to attack multiple enemies at once. You know what I think that's right. Yeah, just follow this path.
Yeah, Joe, you were so right.
And to look and see this waterfall in the distance, like that's, you know, that's nothing now, but, you know.
Hey Joe, do you see that waterfall over there?
We can go to that waterfall.
You can go to that waterfall.
You know, in fact, you can go to the mountain.
Uh-huh.
Or up on top of that mountain. There's a cabin, which has like an optional side quest on it.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, also, I mean, not new for Dragon Quest, but I mean, it was one of those things that was, how do you implement that in a big 3D world?
I mean, I think he had a lot of, you know, there's probably a lot of worry about, like, I love Final Fantasy X, but going from like the world map of like 7, 8, 9, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and then jumping to 10, it's like, is just not going to be done anymore? Like, is this kind of world going away where there's a world map or like big areas to explore and like just places to like get off the path?
Oh yeah, and you're gonna have to heal up your dude. Yeah, and that was because the for Japanese role-playing games, world maps had gone away and were replaced with like a map where you just choose destinations, which I thought has always been way lame. You know, outside of games that aren't Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, Tactics pulls it off because it excels in so many other areas, but that's my like least favorite thing, to go to a Japanese role-playing game that doesn't have an explorable world map. And 10 had sort of gotten away with it because it didn't have a map that you just chose your destination, but you were just sort of walking along a linear path the entire game.
And I mean, to be fair, like, this is like a challenge to everybody. Go back and play Final Fantasy IX. And like, I think you'll see that, like, and I mean, we've talked about this before, where it's almost more the illusion of freedom is more important than actual freedom itself, because Final Fantasy IX really is similar in its level of like linearity to Final Fantasy X. Like, you're going from point A to point B to point C to point D constantly in that game. Like, especially as it gets closer to the end, Like, it's just, okay, I get to a new town, here's a dungeon, okay, I'm done with the dungeon, go to the next town.
Right.
And, like, 10 is just that, but it doesn't pretend like it's anything else. There's no, like, facade of a world map. So, like, people look at it as being ultra-linear, when, like, in reality, it was like I can imagine on the development team, they're like, yeah, yo, like, this is the way it is at 9, let's just cut out the world map, and then...
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I would... The thing is, it's all illusion. Like, art is an illusion.
Yeah.
They just need to sell their illusion a little harder, I think.
It looks like we found it. Naturally, I'd love to come in with you, but I couldn't possibly put Medea in danger. I'm sure you will do fine finding the crystal ball without us,
Why do you
8.
keep putting emphasis on that?
It's King Trode putting emphasis on it.
Jesus.
We'll be waiting here. You'll be careful in there.
Okay, and remember, speaking of balls, is this game is balls hard, so...
And it's still not as hard as, like, old school Dragon Quest, but it's like... Yeah, like in 11, I'm like so used to...
Just blazing through. This is like a dungeon that you might have to take multiple attempts at, especially because you didn't like explore around, find all of the skill seeds and stuff around town. And I think there might be one up on the cabin on top of this mountain.
Yeah.
The cave is in. And there's like random treasure chests out in the world. There's, this is one of those games that expects you to do a fair amount of level grinding.
Yeah. It's built into the game where it's like...
Right.
They don't do too much emphasis on like the stories of individual towns, so I think they just expect you to build familiarity with them by like continually returning to them.
Right. And the thing, because this game has a day-night cycle, the people in the town, depending on the time of day, will have different routines. So you will see you get back to town at night and you need to buy a weapon or some items, but they're not there. They're at the bar or in their home, and there's like little mini stories going on in town. This person has a beef with this person, or this person is trying to get somebody else to notice them. And that's all kind of traditional Dragon Quest stuff, going back to, at least 3.
Yeah.
Back in, from the 80s, Dragon Quest 3. How are we doing for health?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know like how in depth we want to go on this demo days, like because I think if we finish it out where like we do like the proper level grinding to like beat the boss and get to the end, like it might end up being, like a 5-parter kind of thing. And like we got to remember like these are once a week, where it'll be like, do we subject people to a month of us playing the Dragon Quest 8 demo?
Yeah. Mostly we're doing this because we're just super excited.
Yeah, playing 11.
About the brand right now. Oh, and this was the return of Drakies. Those enemies on the left that look like bats.
Uh-huh.
Or Drakies. Which was a classic NES Dragon Quest fixture that had gone away for like, I don't know, from 4 until... Because I don't think they were in 4. I think they went away in 4, and this is the first time they went back, or had come back.
Uh-huh.
And that was like, oh my god, it's... And that warm blanket,
Yeah.
And, I don't know if I've talked about my history or with the series on the channel. But, it was one of my very first video game loves. One of the reasons I got into video games was the first Dragon Quest, or, Dragon Warrior on the NES. Back in 89. Which, just show how fucking old I am. And I don't think you heal up in this one when you level up. Mini heal. It's just something that has... even when it took a giant absence from the West, when the games weren't being localized for, 15 years.
Seriously, insufficient MP.
Like I never stopped going back to play the NES Dragon Quests. Like they never like left my life, and I never like lost interest in the series. And it's, you know, it's a very special relationship because, like, you know, how... Oh, it says items, I think. Because, like, how many things that, you know, go back to when you're 6 that you love just as much now as you did then.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it's like, you know, it was Dragon Quest and Masters of the Universe and Ninja Turtles, and, you know, those other ones I'm remember nostalgically, but realize that they were never really that good. Whereas Dragon Quest is like, man, Dragon Quest is still so awesome for me as a middle-aged man.
Yeah. Let's see. Should we leave the dungeon then and like go get some better equipment?
You know what? Let's go ahead and go do that.
Okay.
You know, as Dragon Quest tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like weird to be back and like to have it so much harder, you know, like playing 11. So for those who don't know, like 11 is super easy.
The game that had just come out this year.
Yeah.
On PlayStation 4.
In the US.
In the US.
Like 11 is super easy. And it's like hard to like remember almost like how do you even play like an old Dragon Quest or like a older Dragon Quest.
And you know, and like I'm not into difficulty's sake or like games being difficult for difficulty's sake. But like Dragon Quest has built the difficulty into how you experience it. Kind of like Dark Souls.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to relate it to that, where it's like in Dark Souls, the difficulty is there so that you really build like an appreciation of the area and like you spend time. Like think of like Dark Souls 1, like when you finally do make it all the way to like Link back to Firelink Shrine.
It feels
earned and it feels memorable. Like, oh, I spent a lot of hours just coming back to Firelink Shrine just to like refill my Estus to 10, you know, and like Dragon Quest is like that where you'll like just be hanging out in a town for so long, just getting money so you can buy all the best equipment so that then you can go and stomp the boss in the dungeon
and you it feels earned, and it feels like a place that you like a well-worn track that you made yourself. And it's something that, you know, like I remember one of my favorite games of all time was Dragon Warrior 4 on the NES. And it just had this, you never one-shotted the dungeon. Like, you know, it's like you probed into the dungeon just to see what it was like, you checked it out, but like with the knowledge that you couldn't make it to the end. You gotta like go in just to check it out, you know, and then you had to like stock up and be prepared. And even then it was, you know, you only had a chance to make it through. But each time you'd come back and you'd get back to town, your like kind of base of operations, and you would get there at a different time of day, and you know you would get to know the character of the town and the people who live there, and you know, and then you know, playing the Dragon Quest 4 remake on DS, where man you just could like coast, you know, like you know all of that was gone, and it was like the spirit is gone, like something is missing. It would be like an easy mode in Dark Souls. You know, it would kind of defeat the purpose.
I just wanted to try something where I wanted to see
if I could go
Super Saiyan in the demo. So this is a system, it's kind of like Bravely Default a little bit, where like you can like build up tension so that it like multiplies your damage output by however much. And at some point, I don't know, like if you have to unlock it, but you can go Super Saiyan if you psych up enough. And I wanted to see if you could in the demo. Oh, okay, you can't.
Yeah, his bandana flies off, and
He gets Dragon Ball hair.
Yeah.
That's glowing yellow.
which I think I remember reading was added for the US version because Dragon Ball was popular here.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Dragon Ball isn't popular in Japan, but it was like, you know, they'd actually modified this game quite a bit for the West. Like, all of the menu system is different.
Yeah, so like, see this like really, it goes to a black load screen to load this like complex menu thing.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
That's not traditional Dragon Quest.
No. In the original, it was traditional Dragon Quest menu, which is like a transparent black menu that comes up over the screen on the top corner.
Yeah, and it's elegant. Like, it tells you all the information you need immediately. Thankfully, 11 restored it.
Yeah.
I assume this was like it was one of the changes done by Level 5, the developer, because
Yeah.
it looks like one of the menus that they had designed for one of the clunky menus they designed for one of their other games,
Yeah.
like Rogue Galaxy or Dark Cloud.
Yeah, it's like you can see a lot of level 5 in this game. Like, so level 5, other games that they've made.
Ni no Kuni,
Ni no Kuni later, yeah. White Knight Chronicles later.
Professor Layton.
Yeah, but I think like the team probably like the consistent through team on this would probably be like Dark Cloud to this to Rogue Galaxy to White Knight Chronicles to Ni no Kuni 2, I would guess.
I would guess. I haven't seen the, you know.
Like, yeah, they do a lot of stuff too, like Professor Layton, like Joe just said, but you know, that's like pretty far removed from what this is like.
Right. But like the Armor Project, which has been the core creative team, you know, a different group of creative individuals led by Yuji Horii, you know, that's always been consistent through the entire series.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though Level 5 was doing all the heavy lifting, Armor Project was telling them where to move it and how to do it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like at its heart, it's still total Dragon Quest with just a little bit of level 5 flavoring.
Yeah.
More than it's a level 5 game with Dragon Quest flavoring.
Yeah, I
Like,
think...
Ni no Kuni's a level 5 game with Dragon Quest flavoring.
Right. Yeah, it's Ni no Kuni wanted so badly to be Dragon Quest, but they just didn't know how to do it. Like, they had the veneer,
Yeah.
but it just never got there.
Let's see, so maybe we should rest at the inn first.
Do it.
Do it now. Rest at the inn. Do it.
I think it's down below.
Sleep. Do it.
In Fire Hazard Inn.
So we'll rest at the inn and maybe like equip up, and then we'll set out and we'll call it an episode.
Okay, yeah.
It's a pretty extensive demo.
Yeah, it is. I was so pleased with it at the time.
I do know that there's like a copper sword you can get in the dungeon, but I think... Ooh. Hello.
He's building the alchemy pot.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, this
That seemed like a very level 5 thing to add.
alchemy pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Dark Cloud, a lot of stuff like that. Personally, I always buy
The armor
weapons.
shop was back there.
I always buy weapons first,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
but Joe wants to buy armor, but
Oh, no, I thought we were going to stop at both.
we will. But I like just to buy weapons first. Offense over defense and all that.
You know, a good defense is a good offense. Or wait,
It's the opposite.
a good defense is a good offense?
Let's see. Okay, giant mallet's better. Ooh, boomerang. So expensive, Jesus. Holy cripes, man.
Yeah.
Can I sell? I could sell the Soldier's Sword for 75.
Oh man. Yeah.
Sell the bandana for 23, so that's like 100 gold basically.
I'm not even sure that in the proper game this is where you get the boomerang.
Yeah.
They might have just put it in there for people who got the demo to, you know, have something to grind for.
Yeah.
While they waited for the proper game to come.
420 blaze it, dude. 420 gold. See it?
Yes, I saw it.
Oh.
I was trying to think of like some clever put down or something to say at all, and it's nothing came up.
Yeah, like everything's really expensive.
Which is, you know, Dragon Quest. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, we've kind of got the flavor. We could go beat a boss, and that would be fun. But I mean, I kind of feel like
I would rather
because we might actually legitimately play the full game for the channel one day.
Yeah, like
Let's
it's hard
not-
to put forward a ton of effort when you can't save it and you know it's just a demo version.
Yeah, and it's not going to carry over to the proper game.
Like it worked so well when it came out because it was like this was like, oh, I can just play this because I still have however many months until the game comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now it's like, yeah, we could go play the real game and like have it mean something.
Yeah. Or go back to playing Dragon Quest 11. Which we both have a ton of to get through.
Yeah. Well,
So
in it to spare us and you from grinding this out and seeing a month of Dragon Quest 8 demo, we'll spare everybody and we'll say that sometime in the future we will play a Dragon Quest game. Maybe it won't be 8 first. Maybe it'll be 4. Maybe it'll be like a fan translated version of 5.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be 7. But this won't be the last you hear of Dragon Quest on this channel. All right, everybody. Bye.